right, so this is the vlog for November 16th, 2015. Okay, one of the cool things is my new Apple TV, and what I like about it is that it's getting me closer to cut the cord. And I say that because there are just all these great apps, and I could really, sort of cut out cable. And one of the cool apps that I really downloaded, I like the CNN Go app. Why? Because it feels like regular cable without having to pay for regular cable. So I launch it and I can watch the daily news. So let's say I can go to today's top news, and it just cuts to different stories. So, there are commercials too, but it is sort of like having cable without having to pay for cable. Some people think that iOS and the iPad Pro can't replace computers, but I'm starting to think it can because, I am starting to find apps that allow me to do a lot of production stuff. For example, for this vlog, I found some apps that can really make it easier for me to make a vlog. For example, there's this great replay app that allows you to make videos very quickly with all sorts of things. And also this Splice app is very good too. So there are stuff. And there's this great mic from Shure that plugs into the iPhone and turns it into a great recording app for voices. So one of the things that I got to do is I got to clean up this mess under my desk. I've got so many wires. I've never been really good at organizing the wires because, I clean it up and then I find I have more things to connect. So look, I've got a little photo printer. I got to fix that Canon selfie thing because it's stuck. It won't print. I've got all these, wires going into a plug, and I've got my printer. So I got a lot of stuff to fix. So on the way to work, I noticed, it's still sunny out and beautiful, and I really enjoyed, the walk. Here are the city bikes. They're one of my favorite ways to transport around the city. And then just like little things caught my eye, like, this nice wet paint sign, and even crossing the street, everything looked nice in terms of the crosswalk light, and I made it across the street. And look how cool these cones look, these very bright green, yellow cones, just sort of, they almost look like art. And then right after that, there's more cones and people doing construction. So it was just very pleasant, happy day, November 16th. And of course, I had to deal with going down that crazy staircase that I really don't like, that's so narrow, with people coming up in both directions, while the escalators are monopolized by the people coming out. The train came on time, and it wasn't too crowded, and zoom, it comes in, so that was kind of exciting. And, I saw some interesting stuff. So in no time taking the subway, I was back downtown, and of course, I'm always amazed by the construction still going on at Ground Zero, and I kind of love that arcing thing. And here's some UPS drivers and a nice food truck. So there's so much life in this city, all sorts of stuff. And here's the beautiful sun, and it's just very striking. And even these corridors, sort of in this building near Ground Zero, looks stunning. This is a new construction in the World Financial Center. That's going to be the entrance to it. You could even see the moon, which was kind of stunning. No eyes on me. So next thing you knew, it was the end of the day, and it was time to go. And I had to go to a meeting in Midtown. And so that's why it's not so dark, because I left before it got dark to get to this meeting. And this time I took the 6 train, not the West Side train, to get to Midtown, going to Grand Central. And here's the walk right by the cemetery that's downtown near the Fulton Street subway stop. And I got this really nice shot of the Freedom Tower as I was about to get into the subway stop at Fulton Street. And the Fulton Street subway stop is, I've been there before. It's very modern, and it's very, I think, what the future of the subway system should look like. Here I am going down the escalators. It's like a big round rotunda-like inside. There's always security in there. There's police who check the bags of people every now and then when you go through it. But I really like going to this subway stop, and I'll maybe try to use it more. And then I got the 6 train, and I headed to Grand Central. And when I got to Grand Central, I was up there early, so I decided to go to the Grand Central Apple store, and I headed over there because I wanted to pick up the steel controller for the Apple TV. That's like that traditional device type controller for gaming. While I was there, I noticed they also have like other great toys and devices. But this is the Nimbus steel controller. I picked up one. They're about $50, and I'm going to get 20% off because I'm using Apple Pay with Discovery. Now, while I was there, I decided to play around with the iPad Pro and the pencil because it was available, and I just think it's a great device.
Maybe it's like so much going on right now. All right. So yeah, you can order online. You can have it picked up here too, or anywhere that's closest to your convenience.
Actually, the thing to do is every morning just check. If you go to Apple's website.
So I gave the guy the advice that he should just check Apple's website to see what stores first thing in the morning have iPad Pros in stock, because he was trying to get the 128 gigabyte model.
It's a lonely night, everybody's happy.
So then I headed through the tunnels of Grand Central, going to my Midtown meeting, and it was a successful meeting. And after that, I got sort of kind of lost in the tunnel trying to get out of Grand Central. You can see it's quite a maze. If you have some time, you should explore hanging out in Grand Central. So when my meeting got out about an hour and a half later, I decided to take a city bike to get home because, I figured by the time I took the subway and walked, it would take me a long time and it was getting late. And that's what I like about these city bikes. They're just all over the place, and you have an app and you can get home very quickly.